I can't hear you.
Hello and welcome to Violet Pathways. For those of you guys coming in live, thank you guys for tuning in with us. And for those of you guys that are watching this on the replay, let us know. Don't be shy to comment just because it's not live. Let us know how you experience this. And this is going to be some powerful clearings. And Jessica's going to introduce it. But thank you guys for showing up for yourselves and for being a part of this process with us. Thank you. Hi, Jennifer.
Good morning, good
Water
morning.
handy.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Today we are just going to get into this. We're going to do these clearings in kind of like a move along kind of frequency. And again, these clearings are going to be clearing off all the energetic residue, all of the frequencies that are looping, you're looping in, all of us are looping in, that is actually collective energy and not actually ours ourselves. So in today's session, we're going to be asking the question, where is everywhere you have frequencies that aren't yours within your experience of your self-image, right? And in that, okay, the only thing that I'm going to ask for you to do is when we get to a certain clearing part and I ask you everything all of that is, do you choose to remove all of that from all of your universes? All you simply have to do is at home state, I choose that. And then once you choose that, then that energy is allowed to be recycled and removed and going on to a next frequency of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and you guys can also you guys can turn to me because I've done this enough with Jessica so you guys can see how I'm working and how I'm receiving it because I'm doing the clearing with her. Okay.
He is you. You are
Yes.
him. We are all community. So before we get into this, let's say hello. Hello to Jennifer.
Back up.
Thanks for joining us today. Hello to Brittany. That's my cousin. Thank you for showing up today, Brittany. And then we have Ashley. Thank you for showing up. And Wandy, good morning, good afternoon.
And
Shortly after this
clearing is over, then we'll get into some readings. I definitely feel in the vibe of doing so, and if Jessica feels like joining, then she will. But we are going to bask in the glory of this beautiful energy work that Jessica is probably the best at, I would say.
I don't know if I'm the best, but I do have this
you're
yummy energy.
a conscious awareness warrior.
I'll receive the yummy. Good morning, Alicia. Okay, I'm going to do a little sound audio check real quick. I have my drum music that I'm playing in the background. I kind of would like to use that. Let's go ahead and see if you can even hear that with this headset. I'm not sure if you can. Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right, so like with everything else, you guys, we're going to start by taking a deep breath in through your nose, holding it for the count of 3, and then exhaling. This is allowing us all to connect in a conscious energy. Again, in through your nose. Hold it and release. Last one to expand it all out. In through your nose. Hold it and release. Thank you.
You might experience a lot of coughing, yawning, energetic things. Just receive those. Know that those are your own body's way of acclimating to the clearing.
All right, here we go. Oops, that's the wrong one. Sorry. Look at there. All right, here we go. Nope, again. I'm sorry, guys. I had it and now I've lost it. So maybe they're just telling me get over my sense of needing to play music.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, so now that we've taken the deep breaths, we're going to take one more deep breath in And as you exhale, you're going to state barriers down, barriers down, barriers
Barriers
down.
down, barriers down, barriers down.
And now just breathe. Allow your being to expand. You do not have to visualize anything. Just the words are enough to have your being expand. We're going to expand our aura out all the way as big as the room that you're in. All the way up, all the way out, and all the way down, as big as the room you're in. We're going to expand the aura out as big as the building you're in, all the way up, all the way out, and all the way down, as big as the building you're in. Now go as big as the city you're in, all the way up, all the way out, and all the way down, as big as the city that you're in. We're going to have you now expand your aura out as big as the state or the province that you're in, all the way up, all the way out, and all the way down, as big as the state or the province that you are in. Just allowing your aura to expand. Again, you have to do nothing but listen to my words. My words are enough. We're going to go as big as the country that we're in, all the way out, all the way up, and all the way down, as big as the country that you're in. Now we're going to go as big as the planet we're on, as big as planet Earth, all the way up, all the way out, and all the way down, as big as planet Earth, becoming one with everyone and everything. No resistance, just flowing through, connected. Now expand your aura out as big as the universe that we're in. As big as the universe actually is. All the way up. All the way out. And all the way down. As big as the universe. Now expand your aura out as big as the multi-universes that we're in. As big as the multi-universes actually is. All the way up. All the way out. And all the way down. Now times that by 1,000,000. Times that by 1,000,000. Times that by 1,000,000. Allowing yourself to become as big as you are, as the infinite be that you truly be. When you get to this space of it being as big as your infinite being, you will feel a release. It may be a big, deep breath, or it might be a yawn, or it could just be the sense of relaxation coming all over your body. Welcome back to the expanded space of B. Thank you for allowing Andy and I to be your guides today in this beautiful, beautiful space. And since we are in an ask, receive universe, we are going to ask the universe a question. And we're going to allow the universe to bring up all of those energies so we can recycle through them and get more to a space of who you be in the infinite space of be that you be. So today's question that we're going to ask the universe is, where is everywhere you have frequencies that aren't yours within your experience of self-image? Just breathe, allowing all this information to load. Since this isn't a collective frequency, this is going to be a lot of information. So just breathe. Just breathe. Now, all of that information has loaded. All of that, all of that, all of that. I'm going to freeze it, freeze it, freeze it, freeze it, freeze it. And everywhere that all of this energy is, this energy no longer serves you. And everything, all that is, can we choose to remove all of that from all of your universes? And can we choose that now?
I choose that now.
Untangle, unwind, release, untangle, unwind, release, untangle, unwind, release, vaporize, 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 vaporize. Where's everywhere you are aligning or agreeing with these frequencies? All the way out, all the way down, and all the way up. Grabbing it and freezing it, freezing it, freezing it. Just breathe, just breathe. Whereas everywhere you are resisting or reacting to these frequencies, all the way out, all the way down, and all the way up. Grab all this information and freezing it, freezing it, freezing it. Just breathe. Whereas everywhere you're defending for these frequencies, all the way out, all the way down, and all the way up. Grab it all, freeze it, freeze it, freeze it. Just breathe. Whereas everywhere you're defending against all of these frequencies, all the way out, all the way down, and all the way up. Grab it all, grab it, and freeze it, freeze it, freeze it. Just breathe, just breathe. Whereas everywhere you're righteous for these frequencies, all of that, all the way down, all the way up, and all the way out. Just grab it all, freeze it, freeze it, freeze it, and breathe. Just breathe. Whereas everywhere you're righteous against all of these frequencies, all the way out, all the way down, and all the way up. Grab it all, grab it, and freeze it, freeze it, freeze it. Now, all of that, everything, all of this is no longer serves any of us. Everything, all of this is, can we choose to remove all of this from all of our universes? And can we choose that now?
I choose it now.
Untangle, unwind, release. Untangle, unwind, release. Untangle, unwind, release. Vaporize, vaporize, vaporize. More space of you. Just breathe. Where is all the shikyu, stupidity, unconsciousness, anti-consciousness, and energy fog in and around all of these frequencies? All of that, all of that, all of that. Just breathe, freezing it, freezing it, freezing it, freezing it. Now, everything all of this is no longer serves any of us. Everything all of this is, can we choose to remove all of this from all of our universes? And can we choose this now?
I choose it now.
Untangle, unwind, release. Untangle, unwind, release. Untangle, unwind, release. Vaporize, vaporize, vaporize. What is all the form, structure, constructs, adaptations, and mutations that have supported your point of views on allowing other people's frequencies to be tangled into your self-image? All of that, all of that, all of that. Freeze it, freeze it, freeze it, freeze it, freeze it. Everything, all of that is no longer serves any of us. Everything, all of that is, can we choose to remove all of that from all of our universes? And can we choose that now?
I choose it now.
Untangle, unwind, release. Untangle, unwind, release. Untangle, unwind, release. Vaporize, 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 vaporize. Just breathe. Where's everywhere you have frequencies that aren't yours within your experience of your self-image? So I still feel some wonkiness in that. So I'm going to go into another step of form and structure. So let's clear that out too. What is all the form and structure and significance in and around all of this? Oh, there we go. Just let all that information load. Let it load, let it load, let it load. Just breathe, just breathe, just breathe. Freeze it, freeze it, freeze it, freeze it, freeze it, freeze it, freeze it. Ooh, there we go. Everything all of this is no longer serves any of us. Everything all of this is, can we choose to remove all of this from all of our universes? And can we choose this now?
I choose it now.
Untangle, unwind, release. Untangle, unwind, release. Untangle, unwind, release. Vaporize, 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 vaporize. There's a lot of energy there. What are all the technologies, black meta technologies, and magics across all time, no time, timelines, realities, realms, fractures, alters, parallels, dimensions, and all universes? Oh, yeah. All of that, all of that, all of that, all of that, all of that. I'm going to freeze it, freeze it, freeze it, freeze it, freeze it, freeze it, freeze it. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Breathe, give yourself more space when this energy is frozen, and you can give yourself more space, more space. There we go. Now, everything all of this is no longer serves any of us. Everything all of this is, can we choose to remove all of this from all of our universes? And can we choose this now?
I choose it now.
Untangle, unwind, release. Untangle, unwind, release. Untangle, unwind, release. Vaporize, 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 vaporize. What are all the reciprocal agreements, responsibilities, obligations, and commitments that you have with all beings across all time, no time, timelines, realities, realms, fractures, alters, parallels, dimensions, and all universes? Ooh, all of that, all of that, all of that. Let it load, let it load, let it load. Freezing and freezing and freezing and freezing and freezing and freezing and freezing. Breathe. Everything all of this is no longer serves any of us. Everything all of this is, can we choose to remove all of this from all of our universes? And can we choose this now?
I choose it now.
Untangle, unwind, release. Untangle, unwind, release. Untangle, unwind, release. Vaporize, 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 vaporize. Just breathe. Give yourself more space. You might be feeling light, a little nauseous. Just breathe real quick. Give yourself more oxygen. It was a lot of energy. What are all the Mobius strips, quantum particles, Shikyu implants, and trifold sequencing systems underneath, around, and intertangled and interlocking in all of this? Grab it all. All of that, all of that, all of that, all of that, all of that. Grab it, grab it, grab it. Freezing it, freezing it, freezing it, freezing it, freezing it, freezing it, freezing it. Everything all of this is no longer serves us. Everything all of this is, can we choose to remove this from all of our universes? And can we choose that now?
I choose it now.
Untangle, unwind, release. Untangle, unwind, release. Vaporize, vaporize, vaporize. Almost there, guys. Breathe, breathe, breathe. What are all the creation points, decision points, and reference points in and around all of this? Grab it all of that, all of that, all of that. Freeze it, freeze it, freeze it, freeze it, freeze it. Everything all of this is no longer serves us. Everything all of this is, can we choose to remove this from all of our universes? And can we choose that now?
I choose it now.
Untangle, unwind, release. Untangle, unwind, release. Untangle, unwind, release. Vaporize, 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 vaporize. Breathe. What are all the stacks, stringers, hooks, implants, and triggers? Grab it all, grab it all, grab it all. Freeze it, freeze it, freeze it, freeze it, freeze it. Everything all of this is no longer serves you. Everything all of this is, can we choose to remove all of this from all of your universes? And can we choose that now?
I choose it now.
Untangle, unwind, release. Untangle, unwind, release. Untangle, unwind, release. Vaporize, vaporize. Last one, deep breath in. And out. What are all the Waniki commands and or booby traps? Unknown, unknown, known, unknown, unknowable, spoken, unspoken, unspeakable. Seen, unseen, unseeable, touched, untouched, untouchable, detected, undetected, undetectable, unconscious, anti-conscious, and energy fog. All of that, all of that, all of that, all of that, all of that. Freeze it, 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 freeze it. Everything all of that is no longer serves us. Everything all of this is, can we choose to remove this from all of our universes? And can we choose that now?
I choose it now.
Untangle, unwind, release. Untangle, unwind, release. Unwind, release. Vaporize, 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 vaporize. Ooh, there we go. And I'm going to ask the question again. Where is everywhere you have frequencies that aren't yours within your experience of your self-image? And can you feel that lightness? And since this is a conscious frequency, there's no need to count out. We get to stay in this awareness. We get to feel the shift in our own auras, and we get to expand it out with breath and awareness.
The beauty of your work, Jessica. I want to hear what other people are feeling, but I can speak for myself and say a good portion of the hoarder house has been cleared. I can feel it. I can feel it, right?
This was energy that wasn't yours in the first place.
Yeah.
We go around with so much energy on top of us that we assume it's all ours.
Yeah.
And this clearing was for you to really start to feel what it's like to remove the collective frequency. Right now, you're more in a self space of you and your self-image, that if you ask questions into like, what is it that you feel? Can you look at yourself in a mirror and give yourself compliments?
Yes.
Are you at a place now where you cleared out that yuck chatter that makes you attack yourself?
The yawns and the tears for me too. It's like sort of the number one thing that begins to occur when this work is really hitting you in that place. That those clearings, the way that your body reacts, it just naturally begins to yawn, cry, you tear up a little bit. You yawn so much that tears run down your face. Sometimes you gulp, sometimes you cough, sometimes it's even a sneeze. But there's, if you guys resonated with that and you felt that, then that's also validation that the work, aside from just the lightness and the shift that you feel, that's also evidence when you're meditating or when you're driving, when those sorts of things happen, it's your body's natural way of depositing energy. Same way when I was hearing about ducks. When ducks fight each other, they do this thing when they separate, where they like shake their wings vigorously. That's their way of
Take the
like,
frequency off.
yes. And so you are yawning it away or crying it away, right? But I feel amazing. I'm so
Make
ready
sure
to
you
get
drink water. Guys, make sure you drink some water for sure. Take a little quick water break, everybody. Time for some
yes.
water. That was a lot of energy.
Oh yeah.
Thank you guys too, because like I'm gonna be honest, normally I do these clearings one on one. And so it's a bit of a different experience doing this collectively. It's a lot of energy, like, whoa, a lot of energy, but it's also like pretty awesome to feel that I have no problem in that abundant frequency of energy and I'm still able to transmute it. So I appreciate you all showing up and being a part of this too.
We're
All right,
sort of
let's go
this.
through the comments. We asked for
Yeah.
comments and then we kind of ignored it. So Brittany says, I'm from non-modal. Thank you very much. Mondi says, yes. Smari's on here. Hello. Danny says, thank you. Hello, Danny. Jennifer, the yawns, the tears. My body is tingling and it feels so light. Thank you very much. I'm glad that you're able to experience that. You're welcome, Jennifer. Thank you. Ashley says her legs are tingling, opening up some root chakra energy. I
Yes.
would say, Ashley, for you, like it would probably be really good for you to go outside and do some grounding today. Really allow your feet to connect in with the earth and just like allow that beautiful flow of energy to come through. Jennifer, she has a work meeting. Thank you for showing up with us, Jennifer. Have a good day. You're welcome, Ashley. Yawning like crazy. That's good. I felt a lot of
Yeah.
throat chakra blockage when I was doing that too.
Hmm.
A beautiful one of my other people that I mentors that I follow, Claudia Forward. She teaches this beautiful technique of how to open up your throat chakras with acupuncture, and so definitely like just the V of your neck and like where the Adam's apple. Just breathe into that. And that'll help clear out the throat chakra. Wandy, she got dizzy. Drink some water. That's showing that you're recalibrating, that you released a lot of energy that was in chores. Again, thank you, Wandy, for showing up. Danny saying that has been happening more with meditation. The tinglingness, I think, is what she was talking
On
about.
the yawning and I think stuff like that.
Dang, all my arms are in goosebumps. Okay, I changed goosebumps. We call them energy bumps. You feel the energy surging through your body and just really helping you, I feel like, surge out the frequencies that aren't serving you. That's kind of what I feel on those these days. But again, that's my experiment. Take it or leave it. That's up to you.
And for
Yawning.
those of you guys that are wanting a message or a reading or something more in depth, you can donate for that, or you can just be patient and I can do like quick little mini one card readings. If you guys are wanting a more in depth reading, then go ahead and donate in the description box, and the pinned comment offers you all of those links: Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. You guys know the deal.
Assuming she's yawning as well. Wandy, me too. See, look at that, Wandy.
Yeah.
Making your little community connections in here. We're all together. And there's Danny. Hi, Danny. She's another one of our mentorees. Danny is awesome and a friend, part of our soul family. So, you guys, this is a collective way of bringing my work to to you so you can see what I really specialize in. Um, my one-on-ones are definitely an experience, because I'm really able to tap into you, and we're able to move through questions and things. So this is a
There's an attentiveness and an awareness that you bring, I believe, when you've worked with me individually. And just imagine the amount of impact you felt with that clearing as a group clearing. Imagine how powerful they feel when her focus and her attention and her awareness is on you and everything that you're holding, all of the different polarity frequencies you're holding, and she's able to sort of eagle eye, hawk eye, pinpoint those things and help you work through them one by one. So I
I hear
definitely
your
think,
soul song, and
yeah,
where the glitches in the soul song, I'm able to bring awareness. Now, again, they are deeper clearings, so my sessions usually run between an hour and a half to 2 hours. Um, it takes time to talk this stuff out. It takes time to be acknowledged and validated, and not necessarily like validated in the frequency that you're in, but validated in the awakening process that you're in. So I had a session last night with one of my clients, one of my past mentors, and it was just beautiful watching the growth that is happening and being able to be any kind of assistance to this process is just beautiful. Again, it's just really learning to tap into yourself. You guys, I know this is kind of going off, but I do highly recommend you guys all checking out your human design charts. I'll be going on Keys to Ease maybe today or tomorrow and doing some like tool things that I feel like in this very beginning level of awakening that just really helps you open up to the awareness of who you be.
yeah. You're welcome to do it here on the page if you like as well.
Yeah, of course. Sumi has had heaviness
Yeah, for
for
the
the
past.
past 2 days. Okay, the energy has been really strong with the Schumann report. Um, the solar flares have been coming in. I don't know what it's looked like today. Yesterday it hit me in the middle of the day, and I was like, oh, I need a nap. Um, the sun today it's kind of mild out. Um, when we get these high frequencies from the sun coming in, it's this recalibration process for us. So just like um if you're feeling heaviness, ask questions into that. Is it showing you things that you're still operating in that are no longer serving you? I mean, even I, just up until recently, I was like pushing for something to happen. And every time resistance kept coming through, instead of seeing it as the resistance that wasn't for me, I kept pushing through. And so I finally hit a wall that I was like, okay, no more. That's it. So sometimes this heaviness, sometimes this kind of frequency comes in, just to bring that awareness to us, right? When the planet, I'm not an astrologist, okay, but I do know that the planets and all of that energy has there's so many different frequencies in play on this planet, right?
Yes,
And that's why I feel it's so important to really understand your frequency,
yes.
right? Because if you don't know your own baseline of who you be, then all these other energies coming in are just going to make you consistently like,
Knowing your true north is vital to navigation, right? Knowing your true authentic frequency when you've been living a life where you've been, you know, kind of like a bag in the wind between all these programs and traumas and perspectives and polarities and frequencies and whatever, it can be a little bit of a disorienting journey coming back, but these moments where you can feel lighter, where you feel, oh well, this is what that's supposed to feel like, these are the moments of knowing and learning what your true north is. And that is what the magic of this is, and that is sort of a safe haven. Violet pathways and the frequency that we hold is meant to be our intention is so that this could be a safe place, a solace, a salvation, or no, not even what do we call it? A refuge for those that are experiencing awakening and feeling, lost in it, because there are so many, there's so many elements to how this shift in consciousness is happening, and it's a lot of ways in which it affects everybody around you, and the heat is being elevated, and the pressure is being elevated, right? And you're being offered a gift of awareness so that you don't have to suffer as much. You know what I mean? Whether that be through us, or the divine is just is bringing you people, tools, lessons, knowledge, information, studies. They're bringing you all different types of aid right now, and
And
we're
even
just,
each other. Right
yeah,
here, I see Ashley and Samari are talking, and I love that because, to be honest, I feel that is one of the major tools too. Finding someone you can connect with in this infinite space of B frequency,
yeah,
right? This place where I'm not trying to make you me, you're not trying to make me you. We're just holding space for us all to be who we be, right? No judgment, just love, compassion, allowance for you to be your own sovereign beings, while you're able to sit in the ease of you holding the frequency of you being your own sovereign being,
yeah,
right? And that's what this amazing time is that we get to really tap into this frequency that I don't feel has been here. And if it has, it definitely wasn't widely shared. And now that it's being shared,
there's been a
again.
foot in both worlds for a really long time, right? For so long, as intuitives or psychics, we allowed that to even be its own box, right? We see the neon sign, psychic readings, palm readings, $10, right? Psychic readings, whatever. But it was a foot in both worlds, because you had to operate in a way within that frequency that was not giving sort of honor to what these gifts are for, and they're to nourish and really rehabilitate the soul flames that are available to us all.
And it's because we in a collective, we've been in this dependent frequency, right? Breadwinner,
Yes.
homemaker, one is better than the other. No. It's understanding that, like, why are you worried about things that really have nothing to do with your choices? But we do. We invest our energy into someone else, right? And what happens is when you do that, you take the energy from yourself and you put it somewhere that is probably being resistant, doesn't even want your energy in there. Right? Or even if they do want your energy in there, they're sucking your energy out. But what's happening to that space in you? Is it being refilled or is it being depleted? And when we focus on giving other people our energy, it's being depleted.
Yeah.
When we stay in a frequency of knowing, like, hey, I'm working on me, I'm doing the best I can for myself, and I've learned how to communicate with you. And this is something else I was talking about. That's why I think human design is important, right? In human design, you get to find out what your strategy and authority is. Okay. I didn't get too lost in human design. Like, there's so much you can learn there. But again, it's more on the astrology side of it, and my brain just hasn't really clicked to that yet, right? So for me, I went in and I got what was the most important frequency for me in that. And for me, from human design and learning it, it was my strategy and authority. It was having, like, for me, understanding where my lines were. It made me understand my life path. In fact, being a 6 and going through such a hard life in the beginning, it allowed me to understand that was just a part of my design. I truly did nothing.
Yes.
I truly
Yes.
did nothing to deserve
Hmm.
any of that. In fact, I chose to step into that so that way I could grow and become this amazing bee that I am today, and know how to take that trauma, take that pain, take all of that heaviness and transmute it into this beautiful divine loving frequency.
Yeah. And even though, thank you, Danny, and even though human design itself is probably one of the most illuminated, or the most illuminating forms of learning yourself and learning your design, there's so many different things, right? What's your sauce, right? You like astrology, you like, there's so many things to delve into that can bring you into awareness, and human design may be the most specific and illuminating thing, but you guys are, there's a wealth of information
For
and
me, though,
knowledge.
but that's
Yes.
the thing, though. It
Yes.
was for me. So let's be clear with this, okay? For me, being now, this is why human design showed me that I'm a 6'2", which means consciously I've had all the struggles that I can have in life. All the things that could be put onto a human to make them struggle in a survival frequency, I have embraced, right? And then it goes, oh, wow. So I'm not a victim. Okay, so like this is something that has, right? Now in my subconscious, I'm a 2. So I'm this beautiful master on the hill that's learning how to transmute all of these frequencies. So then that gives me a frequency instead of being lost in the victim frequency, right? Which I was for a very long time. Okay. I was polarity matching in a victim frequency. So going through life, making connections with people from my broken parts is what I was doing. Thus, the reason why none of them were working for me, right? So it came to a point where I had to realize with human design, and gave me that realization that actually I was supposed to go through all this stuff to turn it into this new yummy healing form of information, right?
It's a higher perspective, and a non distorted perspective of why you went through what you went through, because we tend to, the victim frequency and all that, that can keep you locked away from yourself for such a long time, because you don't
Yeah.
realize, hey, I had to go through this. Because a lot of the things that I'm able to help heal in clients, and those of you guys that come into these lives, I'm able to do because of the things that I went through. But it's the awareness of those things that then curtails into or feeds into my relationship with myself, right? Because if you're over here, there's two perspectives. You're over here think you're the most unlucky person, unlovable person in the world, or over here you realize, wow, I'm my soul and my blueprint called for that, for all of the reasons that I've already discovered, or
And in
everything that has followed.
And in each frequency, you'll see different things that attract to that, right? So if you're in the victim frequency, like we're saying, you'll keep seeing things that attract to everything that is negative about everything, because that's what you're thinking, that's what you're looping, that's what you're telling the universe, right? When you have the awareness of like, whoa, wait, I can transmute this energy like hot dog, seriously, and then you get to this point where now you start seeing all these things you can heal, right? So
And in the
instead of
midst of all of this, life becomes exponentially more magical,
yes,
right? And we talk about all of this healing.
it becomes more understanding.
Yes, and with that understanding, also there's a level of, right, with more questions answered come more questions, and that's the beautiful thing, because those questions are continuing to lead you back to the power of who you are, outside of everything that's not yours, outside of everything that you have wonky perceptions about, and the wounds that you still carry are slowly and surely, layer by layer, being healed and being mended, bringing you into this sovereign place that God has, in the divine, truly, for my belief, um, is holding that space for us, right? They're holding that space for us, and they're allowing us to step into that step by step, day by day, right? And that magic in that journey, the appreciation of the journey, but that magic of life, that magic of like the synchronicities of driving. For whether you drive or take the train, you look up and you see a sign and it reads something very specific to something you were just thinking about, or whatever, the
Or angel
butterflies
numbers. Yeah.
and the
So
angel
many
numbers, and
different things.
they these things come in as a way of saying, for the universe and God saying, hey, we realize that you're now taking a more actively conscious role in your experience, and we're here to tell you, hey, what's up, we're here, hey, congratulations, like, celebrate, and a lot of times when I tune into them, my guides are very comical, right? They like to make jokes of things, but at the same time they're also very like, um they laugh because they know that what if I come to an expectation or an assumption of what their response or opinion is going to be about something, I'm usually very wrong, right?
Because that steps into the next part of it, right? Is when you know your type, right? So with me being a generator, we assume that Andy's a projector. We don't have his time of
We're working
births.
on it.
You got to have the time. You got to have the where you were, the date you were born, and the time you were born to like get your full understanding of where the planets were, right? And in that, it became this thing where like strategy and authority, right? So my strategy is that I am a generator, right? I'm a manifesting generator, but I'm a generator. And so if I don't wait to respond to something, I'm not going to be received the way that I desire to be received, right? Because I'm an emotional, which is my authority, I'm an emotional. So I have 24 hours of yes, 24 hours of no. And then on the third day, I get to wake up and say, is this for me or is this not for me? Yes, no, and feel it. And then make my choices that way. Right. But if I'm in a relationship with a sacral, right? A sacral authority is an person. They
Mm-hmm.
don't need no 24 hours of anything. They need seconds. Uh huh.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all they need, right? So if I'm in a relationship with someone who's always wanting me to be in that quickening, making decisions frequency, that's not going to work for me. That's going
Yeah.
to bring me frustration.
Well, it's
That's going to
knowing
bring me
yourself, right?
dissatisfaction. You know, it's understanding how these frequencies come about in the first place.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. And then I was rambling. So let's do
No,
this.
you're fine.
I got in an argument with a friend and he said some hurtful things. And I'm like, this is and that. I got triggered because I wasn't anything that he said. And then
There was a death, and someone was
was
shot to
shot to
death.
death. And that also affected me. Yes, the plants are affecting me. Okay, so when a friend is saying something and you're triggered by it, truth, there's something in there, your polarity, that you need to clear out. There's some part of you that you've given to that person, and that's why when they come to you, you feel like this like wonky energy. I would definitely say call back your energy and breathe. When you're feeling triggered, ask yourself questions. You know, is this really yours? That's the best way that I was able to switch the response energy versus reaction energy, which most of us are in
It,
reaction energy.
it's like the election process is what they're showing me when it comes to those polarities. It's like there's a whole bunch of collective beliefs, probably millions of collective beliefs that we all cast a vote for every time we give them merit, every time that we give them energy. And when the collective is all agreeing, hey, this aspect that I've witnessed about you means that you're this, then that's an opportunity for them to invite you into that voting process.
It's for
And
you to understand that's a collective message
yes.
about you.
Hmm.
Are you really still playing in the collective energy? Is that still serving you? And I'm very sorry about the person that you tragically lost. I'm sorry about that. Um, expand your love out.
Yeah.
And then the planets are doing some interesting things these days. So breath work and meditation, and again, sending so much love to you.
Yeah.
Danny, my husband, and I take screenshots every time a number on our phone numbers. But see, but the truth is in this is beautiful because you've brought an awareness into your collective energetic bubble that you have with each other,
Yeah.
right? And you're showing this beautiful like secure space to be able to receive this information. So again, that's another beautiful step into understanding what it means to share this experience, right? Because it's not being dependent on anybody, it's being in your own independent frequency, knowing who you truly be and expanding that out, which allows others to come in and co-create with you.
Yes. You're what you're doing is that's another answer to the collective wonky, right? And it doesn't necessarily mean that it's your responsibility to constantly do this for everyone as you go through this. However, when you, like Jessica said, when you are choosing to bring other people in your collective bubble, into these empowering ways of relating, what you do is you use the collective energy to create a different momentum. So rather than the collective energy working against you, or trying to pull you into what you don't want, now,
Distortion.
yeah, now that collective energy is all collectively focused on the same empowering visualization, or empowering focus. Danny
Oh,
Berardi also assigned you both are twin flames. I am a okay. I mean, listen. If that's your belief, Sumeria, I think that it's still me and you are still defining that twin flame and soulmate. There are so many soulmates in our lives. Most are non-sexual, non-romantic,
but the
right?
point is that they're having this beautiful community thing, sharing knowledge with each other,
Yes.
right? And in her experiment, this is what she's felt. And she has knowledge on twin flames and things like that, that impersonally, myself, I personally have not dug into because I've been more focused on myself, right?
Yeah.
So we all have different walks on this. I just love that you guys are interacting and that you guys are becoming friends and supporting each other and, going through this with each other. Like, this is what we've desired to create, a place where we can come together and we can all see our own individual keys that we be and really sit in this yummy expansion space of it. I think
I,
X was the first.
I love that, and I honor all of that, but I do I feel, you see, this in my experience,
Yeah.
being somebody who has been a
We're
reader
not
on
identical, so you get
YouTube.
to have
No,
a different
absolutely.
one. So,
Um,
and that is perfectly wonderfully fine
yeah,
too. So
yeah,
just to say,
because
give your opinion on it.
I just think that I think that it's worth asking questions into the whole twin flame thing, because it can feel like a shiny, sort of like, ooh, shiny object, like a light, like the, the bug flying into the lamp or the lantern, right? It's something that um actually diverts you from the path of your relationship with yourself, which is the true um soil that a twin flame divine partnership is birthed from. So let's be wary and be conscious of the frequencies we're talking about when we talk about twin flame. Because as you say, Ashley, my ex was a false twin flame. But I bet you at one point you were going around feeling and saying even to people that he was your twin flame.
And maybe there was some polarity matching that was really happening there that was meant for
The
you
whole
to
twin
grow
flame
and
thing is a
expand from.
polarity in itself.
Is it? Okay. See, really, I have zero
Yeah,
knowledge on this because
it's
I'm
a
like, yeah,
polarity
good.
in itself.
So
And
truthfully, I just personally myself, you guys, like I really have
well,
zero
because you
knowledge
had
on
no
this
interest in relationships for
because
so
I'm
long,
not
so you
zero
never fell
interest.
into
So
that. Andy, a
no.
twin flame firstly is connected within yourself, and then 5D, and you have TF. I don't know what TF means, but I consider Jessica to be a twin flame. You know what I mean? Of mine, in the sense that,
We instantly knew each other when we
yeah,
talked. Like so that I agree.
and yeah, you felt an explosion. But here's the thing: we're constantly moving and manifesting in soul pods, so you're constantly going to be connecting with people, maybe not as strong or as a positive of a charge, a twin flame, right? But there's always going to be something, right? And I think that sometimes we can get away from ourselves, not just within the twin flames, but when we want to um, bring expectation.
They're saying because collectively we've been taught to always go without, not
Hmm.
within. That everything is outside
Yes,
of us, not within. And
exactly.
that's kind of where the differences come in for me. Because I'm like, yeah, I've lived that outside life too long. It's time to come in. It's time to give all this energy. And truthfully, and this is good too. Because for me personally, and what I do in my work is I work in calling all essence of you back.
Yeah,
I work in teaching you to truly connect into who you be, right?
yeah,
Because I've spent so many years giving all of my energy out to everyone else and being completely depleted in myself and not knowing how not to be. right? And so when I learned how to really be in this way and not get so mixed up in all of this stuff,
Yeah.
I have really personally set into this journey of I shall know Jessica. Like Jessica, before
Yes.
Jessica does anything further, Jessica's going to know herself. So, Andy, I'm sorry for interrupting.
No, no,
Because
that's
you have been more on the twin flame stuff, like you said, and you've been in this community longer for that,
yeah,
so.
especially as a reader. It's very frustrating when I am receiving someone for a reading and they're very, very, very dead set on receiving information about their twin flame. They don't even want to know whether or not that person is their twin flame. They want me to operate the reading assuming that this person is their twin flame, right? And that is, I'm not going to say that that's happened a lot of times in the most recent past, but I've had a good period of time.
This is good information, though.
Catalyst of narcissist, hold on. Catalyst or narcissist trigger you to come into an awakening. And then
Twin
the
flame.
the twin flame helps you. It's a contract. Yes, absolutely. And that was been my relationship with Jessica, but at the same time, there's also the understanding, the damaging understanding or belief or polarity that you have one, right? And then also what happens when you have the one and within their own free will choice they don't fulfill their end of the bargain, or they hurt you in some way, leave you and conflict with the expectation that this person is going to be my safe forever person.
Yeah, because when again are you giving out your energy to someone else,
Right.
right?
Because you're not cultivating that within yourself, and when you do cultivate it within yourself, then the impulse from the external is
Truth,
coming in.
the truth is like to me at this point, right? Forever. That's a
I know.
long time. Like
Well, even like a decade, that's
I
what.
don't get any kind of new strange. Like I gotta stick with forever. Like forever, forever, forever. Like all these lifetimes, like
Well,
forever.
till death do you part, right?
But
And
what is actual death? Like on
the thing,
this
but here's
realm?
the thing,
Or like
we
a
also have to
spiritual
understand.
like there's so many different levels to all this.
Yes,
Okay, I'm sorry.
Sumi
I
says just work within yourself and align the twin flame within yourself in short form. Yes, the divine masculine and the divine feminine,
see.
absolutely.
So then one day when my Mr. Right comes walking through, I'll be like, "Sumi, now I get what you were saying."
Yeah, as without, so within, as within, so without. But you also have to understand that there is a karmic cleansing that's happening, and I know that that sounds um,
No, because it's removing energies that are no longer serving you, and I think that's a
but
big part of it too.
there's also karmic blueprints that are being worked out within that twin flame stuff as well. So we all are pods, soul pods that are constantly interlinked and interwoven with each other. Think about like a chain link fence, right? And we're all kind of that, maybe not a chain link fence, but think about like a weave or something being woven, right? That's the consciousness, that's the collective, and we are constantly moving in and out of each other's lives, dating, breaking each other's hearts, hurt, working and coworkers and this and that in school and teaching.
Oh
And
wait.
there's,
So if you heal, I'm a little just work with
hold on,
yourself.
let me finish real quick. There is
Teachers.
there is a unquantifiable amount of karma being worked out in every relationship that has ever crossed your path. You know what I mean? So there's always something akashically tied to interactions. It's all the law of resonance. Even if that person is not necessarily in your soul pod, when they cross you, there's something about that interaction that either creates or clears karma. So that is also something to keep in mind, that it's not just certain particular individuals that carry a weight when it comes to your healing. It's also a group effort, right?
But this is my question. So, okay, with this one, just work within yourself and align the twin flame within yourself in short form, right? So, is that actually stating then when you're in what you're kind of talking about too, these karma cycles and things? S- So, as I do these clearings, as I get more clear with who I be, right? Am I energetically clearing my twin flame also?
Yes and no.
Like on
It
a
is
quantum
quantum.
level.
Yes, it is quantum. On a quantum level, sure. What you're doing is you're basically like a couple miles closer to the rendezvous point, right? So say the rendezvous point is here, and you are here, you're here, and your partner is here, right? And and this is who they are right now. They are quantumly your divine counterpart. They're quantumly there, right? So you
This has
guys are
gone way.
split. Hold on, you guys are split, and then as you guys are doing your clearing and your work, you guys are coming closer, closer and closer to the middle point, to that rendezvous point where you have the opportunity to manifest into each other's lives at that point, because you guys have both done that work. Now, if that person is in their within their free will choosing to slow
Not do
down,
the
and
work.
they're not mirroring you, then you will just be resonated and matched to someone else. That's the same thing when the divine gives messages or ideas or downloads, and they send it down, and people that are in the resonance, in the flow, in the receptive frequency of that will receive it. But if they don't do anything with it, then it's going to go to the next person who's ready to run with it.
Gotcha. Okay, this has totally gone into a whole
I know.
nother something.
I know. She said, "Oh man, you're getting into another topic." I mean, I think they're all connected. Journey of the Soul and Journey of the Souls by Michael Newton are amazing for understanding. Thank you for that
Thank you.
recommendation.
See, we will definitely be checking that out. Thank you. And this is exactly like, it's funny because here's the thing, right? So we get into, what do we do a clearing on? We do a clearing on self-image, right? We remove everybody else's collective blah all over our
Hmm.
stuff, right? And now we get into this beautiful conversation of what it actually means to a twin flame. In my understanding of this, is a mirrored reflection of your self-image,
Yeah,
right
yeah,
or wrong. So
exactly.
so the more you clear these things and get to these things, see, and I am a Pisces and Venus, and there's all kinds of interesting things that the stars are trying to tell me right now, and I'm like, I
You're
don't know
only
about that.
able to
So
manifest a mirror based on the law of resonance. We're only resonant and able to manifest those that mirror us, or those that are like the other half of the frequency, the opposite end. So frequency, think about it like this. Like, if you know anything about music, octaves, right? If you go up and down the octave, it's the same measure of, when you look at the wave of the sound wave, it's the same measure of distance between the waves, if it's up the octave or down the octave on the same note, right? So
yeah,
this is what I'm getting into, the two sides of the same coin thing.
I
You know what
get
I,
you.
yeah.
It just, my brain was just like, this is so outside of where I'm even at this moment. So that's why it was the head shake. Because me personally, like, hey, this is, and hey, like, honestly, this is why we are doing this community. There is so much information out there, man. Like,
Yeah,
your
Sumi said
head can swarm in so many different
Sumi said
ways.
you will not be in your union with your
Twin
twin
flame.
flame in every lifetime. Sometimes you have soulmates, depending on our contract, and partly right in what Andy said. Yeah, there's
See,
a whole lot that plays into it, but being driven, letting that be your end goal. Like, my goal is a twin flame love, right? First of all, you're adding distortion to that, and anything that is divine,
expectation,
expectation, yeah,
you
anything that
know?
is divine can be distorted, and what you want, the surefire way of being able to achieve it, is to turn back within every time.
Yeah. So
And
we
it's
went
easier
down a
said than done.
rabbit hole today that we really didn't proceed seeing having. I was like, oh, this is gonna be a clear, quick, short clearing. So this is an example of what a rabbit hole looks like when people are like, "Oh, down the
But
rabbit
it's
hole I
okay.
went." Like, it is perfectly wonderful. There's nothing like wrong about it. But this is what we would. This is what I would classify as a rabbit hole. We went to self-image. We did a clearing, a deep clearing on self-image, removing a lot of collective information, right? That allowed us to be in this space where now we can actually receive from each other. And I love that you guys are doing this beautiful community and bringing up things and talking about things, because now this whole conversation is like another turn down the rabbit hole of what self-image is, and in that like frequency again, and again we got to ask, where is it collectively that we have to find this soulmate forever for a person, right? And it comes back into where we're like really in this place of working on ourselves, right? Because that's really the key thing that matters to all of this, is working on ourselves. If we take the time to
And
start unraveling
it's just
and get to know
the
ourselves,
relationship with ourselves.
then we start really flowing and communicating with the universe in a completely different way. And this was awesome.
Our
Like, I'm
relationship
super
with
happy.
ourselves is our relationship with God. Our relationship with ourselves is our relationship with our mother. Our relationship with ourselves is our relationship with our best friend.
Because I am lives within, not without.
And with that being said, I'm feeling complete. Thank you guys for
I
joining us
want to
today.
pull one collective card real
Okay.
quick to clear this up for the day. See what our energy was, because that was awesome. Like, again, super happy the way this all turned out. Not necessarily.
Stay hydrated, guys.
Again, we had zero expectation. We just set an intention. And this is, again, an example of what it is when you set an intention and not expectations, right? Because you're able to flow with where things go. And who knows the kind of growth that you're going to end up getting, through
She
this
does oracle cards,
conversation.
Ashley.
Yeah, no tarots. I don't want to get lost in y'all's story. I just want to give you conscious universe information to help you move along in your day. So, this is the deck
Crystal
that I
spirits.
pull from. I really, 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 really love this deck. Probably like out of my collection of too many decks, that one is definitely my most favorite. Angels, guides, ancestors, please guide me clearly. Please show me what our tribe needs to know or hear to kind of close up this rabbit hole for today. I feel so much happiness. I mean, sometimes you really just cannot be making this stuff up. I feel like this right now. Like, I really feel like this pillar of light. I feel like it's so amazing to be this collective powerhouse of awareness, right? And this is what we're turning this community into. So again, I'm going to thank every single one of you: Ashley, Samari, Jennifer, Wandy, the invisibles that I don't see. Who else is in here that I didn't say? Danny, both Dannys, Brittany, Nancy. I really appreciate you guys all showing up and being a part of the conversation. I love this. Always a teacher and a student. Love the process to learn and grow from one another. And on that note, this is the card we get: Tiger's Eye.
Mm.
And again, I really feel it's feeling the power that we all hold within. Personally, I've never pulled this card. It is such a beautiful card. And what number is it? 56. 11. Haha. It's a master number. 56. Let's see what it has to say, guys. All right. Look into the card as I read this beautiful message. Everything, including our planet, began as an idea in the sea of infinite possibility before becoming manifest in the realm of form. And the conditions you see today are the results of intentions created in the past. Know that in this moment, you have the power to begin co creating something new with the conscious universe. You just cannot make this stuff up. You have what it takes to do what needs to be done. So, with that clear intention in mind, take a deep breath. Roll up your sleeves and begin the work, for it's manifesting time. Tiger Eye Spirit reminds you to not get distracted by the largeness of a task, as you have the conscious universe working with you, sending allies and messages to make the job easier. Like the mountain goat ascending to the peak one step at a time, you can let go of your worries and just look for the next foothold as you begin the manifestation process. Prepare the soil for planting. Crack a book that will educate you in the next phase, and get ready for some powerful manifesting energy to partner with you. How beautiful. Like, ah ha ha, energy bumps all over. And
Yeah.
that's how I feel. Like complete powerhouse. I've got my message, I've got my tribe, and we are all just standing super close together, arm in arm,
Red
feeling our
Rover.
true power within, right? This is when we stop the pedestal frequency and we get into this beautiful, loving frequency where ego isn't here boggling this up. There's no need to prove or improve to anyone. This is solely about you. And thank you, all of you, for standing up and being with us today. And Rafi needs to go potty. So, on
Yeah.
that note, I am complete. Thank you very much. Again, don't take our word for it. Experiment with it. If it
Yeah.
resonates, grow it. Who knows what
The
part of
recent
this frequency it is for you?
There was a recent post on the Violet Pathways page that stated, um, all of our unhealed trauma are like uncashed checks, right? Now it's harvest season, and that's what this is. And we don't get overwhelmed here at Violet Pathways of the work that we have to do, because the work within itself is a gift.
It enlightens us, it
Mm-hmm.
makes us happy, and it just gives this yummy, loving frequency that we've all desired to be in, but not understood how to get there. So, again, we would not be this amazing, special place of frequency without all of you. So, whether you're watching us live or on a replay, we are highly grateful to have you in our tribe. And thank you all. And until tomorrow, when we get into some fracture clearings, we'll see you. Or Andy will be on later tonight, right?
Yes, I'll see
So
you guys
Andy will
tonight
be on
around
later on
7.
tonight.
Thank you.
Namaste.
God bless everyone.
Wait, what's your divine? Your closing.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, yes, you're right. You're right. You're right. We leave you in your divine light of the divine creator.
Amen.